Welcome to Bike World, welcome to Portugal. This is Lisbon and this is BMW's new CE 02 electric propelled vehicle. It's not a motorbike, it's not a scooter, it's a mode of transport that's 125 equivalent. It kind of looks like a BMX has ran into a skateboard, has ran into the BMW design department. And in terms of looks, I like it. But we've got a full day around Lisbon today testing this bike. It can be restricted to moped equivalent, which in some countries you can ride when you're 14 years old. Imagine riding that when you're 14. Yes, it is expensive, but I'll come on to that a little bit later, because if you get this bike on PCP, it's just over £100 a month. And bearing in mind, if you travel around London, you're paying around £150 a month for a 0, 1 and 2 tube pass in London. So what would you rather have? A tube pass for a month for £150, or one of these for just over 100. Well, we'll tell you at the end of the day. Quick brew and we'll get riding. So let me switch it on. So now it's live, and then I press the red button with a brake on. It says it's ready, and that's it. And then I've got a couple of modes. So let me find the mode button, which is there. Got flow, surf and flash. So we'll start off with flow and see where we end up. Oh, police. So I'm going to start off in flow, I think. What mode am I in? Where's the mode button? Flow. Let's see if we can feel the differences. I think it's more on the regen and how it slows itself down. But we'll give it a go. Lisbon's quite a cool city. This is quite a cool bike. There is obviously the big discussion of, do electric bikes work? For me, electric sports bikes, not really. Electric tourers, not really, because we don't have the range, we don't have the power yet. Electric trials bikes, definitely, because you don't need the range. Electric scooters, mopeds, call them what you want, definitely, because you don't need the range. This has got a range of 90 to 100 kilometers, depending on how you ride. And if you're traveling more than that, then you're not after a 125 equivalent kind of scooter, are you? Dart around town, what are you going to do? 20 kilometers maximum, maybe 30. Oh, keep an eye out, don't know where I'm going. Oh, I'm going down here. So yeah, if I had the choice, even before I've ridden this bike and I lived in the city, then I'd go electric over petrol. It's just so much easier, quiet, simplistic, silent. No heat, no fumes, no nothing. Well, this is like being a proper tourist. The more I ride this bike, the more I'm starting to enjoy it. And even when I look at my reflection, well, I wouldn't say I look cool, but the bike looks cool. So I just stopped for lunch in Lisbon, and the weather is beautiful. It's yeah, pretty rare, because I've ridden here a few times before, and it's usually a bit dire, but a perfect kind of bike to just play around on in Lisbon. Let me give you a quick tour. So this is the restaurant that we're in, and then outside, sun is shining. We've got the bikes are just hidden away down there. Oh, cool rooftop bar. Now, before I get on to why I love this bike so much, let me just give you the bad news. That's the price. Sit down, you ready for this? 8450 for the base 125 equivalent scooter. This has got the Highline package, which takes it to 9330. It's also got the comfort seat, which takes it to about £9,500 in the UK. Now that, in anybody's language, is a lot of money for a 125 equivalent scooter. This is the first time that BMW have produced a learner legal bike in, well, I think forever. And you've got to think about who it's appealing to. This is fashion conscious, BMW branded people who are spending £70,000, £80,000 on their X5, X7, whatever it is. Yes, it is expensive. Yes, it's probably 2 or 3 times the price of a petrol equivalent, but you're never going to have to pay for petrol. It's going to be, well, cheap or near enough free to run, depending on where you charge it. Insurance should be less. The chance of it being stolen is less, because it's less appealing for bike thieves. It's a really high-end premium scooter. We've got the connectivity, because this is the Highline accessories model. So this has got all the gizmos and gadgets on it. Even got heated grips. So today we've had the opportunity to ride this bike around Lisbon, and it's kind of been the perfect habitat. I think electric scooters work. I just really love riding in the city in perfect silence. You feel more involved in the city. You can have conversations with other people on the scooter. If you've got a pillion, you can have a conversation. You can ride in an open face helmet and you can feel and smell and hear what's happening in the city. BMW quote 90 kilometers on the range. We got about 70-75 kilometers is the estimated range when I was riding it fairly hand-fisted. And we got 73% battery left and 45k left. But we have been riding these like using a throttle like a switch. We was doing over 100 kilometers an hour in places, which is, what is that, 56, 60 miles an hour? But there's no lag, there's no noise, no emissions, there's no liquid, there's no heat. There's so many advantages. For example, I can see people in the paddock loving these. There's 3 different rider modes to choose from. I preferred the surf mode. Yes, they did call it surf mode, which is like riding a 2-stroke scooter. So when you close the throttle, it just runs on forward. It's all about the kind of delivery and the regen or engine braking, depending on your terminology. So if I go into the modes, so I'm in floor, which has got kind of like the least responsive, but it's still full, and some engine brake. And then if I go to surf, that's got a bit more zip but no engine brake. So I just let go of the throttle and it just keeps rolling like that. And then the optional flash mode is more responsive, as in full, and engine brake. It's got lots of engine brake. So I don't know, when you close the throttle, like I'm not touching the brakes, that's the regen slowing the bike down. So if I, which you really kind of feel, especially at low speeds, like when you get below 10 kilometers an hour, it feels like somebody's almost pulling a handbrake on. You've got ABS, but ABS is only on the front, so immature people like me and Chris can pull big skids that make screechy noises that send people a little bit crazy. You can lock the back up at will because there's no ABS on the rear, and the back brake is on your left hand, so it's just like being 12 years old on my BMX again, pulling skids for no apparent reason. I've thoroughly enjoyed riding this bike. I've ridden lots of other twist and go electric scooters, and some of them are not so bad, to be honest, but this is way above. This is double or triple the quality. It is so premium, but that is reflected in the price. There is very little I dislike about this bike, and if I lived in any major city in the UK or in Europe, I'd love to get around the city on this bike. If you live in Monaco and you've got a super yacht and you need to get to the shops to buy your champagne, then you wheel this off your super yacht, you're going to be fine. This is a lovely bike that's just over £100 a month. It's not even going to worry about it. But the big elephant in the room is that price. Is over £9,000 too much money to ask for? Only time will tell. And I'm looking forward to reading your comments below. Some will agree, some will disagree. I guess it all depends on your income. But thanks for watching. If you've got any questions, I'll try and get back to you below. Don't forget to subscribe, and we'll see you on the next one.